Hi and welcome to my video. Today's video is going to be the 9th update to the Project 10 Uses Eyeshadows Only edition. In this project I have 5 eyeshadows in at the same time. To roll them out I have to use them 10 times. To roll in new eyeshadows I use the Master Prompt List by Laney. Her YouTube channel is gonna be linked down in my description, so if you are interested please go check her out. So the eyeshadow that has been in this project for the longest time is an eyeshadow called Ebb. It comes from my Natasha Denona Xenon palette, and I rolled this in for the prompt blue shimmery shadow. Here is what it looks like. It has a nice dip going in it. I use this only as a liner, that's why the dip is so prominent. In the last update I had 4 uses on it, and since then I have used it 5 more times. So at the moment it is on 9 uses. So 1 more use and then I can roll it out in the next update. The next eyeshadow comes from this little Colourpop quad called Violet It Be, and it is this shadow down here called Love Letter. This one I have in this project for the prompt monochromatic palette, what this obviously is. In the last update I had 6 uses on this shadow, and since the last update I have used it like way more than the 4 times that I needed. I have used it probably like 10 times. I don't know if the dip has gotten any bigger, because I do usually only use this on my lower lash line, so that is like the smallest amount possible to use for an eyeshadow look. Actually the inner corner would be even a smaller amount of product, but still that's a small amount of product that I use every time. I am trying to use this shade up by the end of the year. So a goal hit, and at the end of the video we will be rolling for a new random prompt. The next eyeshadow I chose for the prompt called Brown Matte Shadow, and I pulled out my Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette because this has like loads of brown matte eyeshadows in here, and I chose this shade down here called Mesh. It has a little bit of a disturbance on the surface, but nothing too major going on there. I did hit my goal on it and used it the 10 necessary times. In the last update I had 7 uses on it already, so I only needed to use it 3 more times. And all of those uses were also probably on my lower lash line. I don't even have pictures of them because that's just such a boring way of using this shadow, I guess. I have tried to shift my focus more heavily onto my Panda palette, but I used it 10 times nonetheless, and it's gonna be rolling out. The next prompt I pulled in the last update, I got the prompt a green matte shadow, and I pulled in this Colourpop quad called Tidal Wave, and I pulled in this shade down here that is kind of greenish, a little bit bluish, but that's the greenest matte shade that I have in my whole collection. It is called Boardwalk. Here it is, and I have only used it twice because it is such a bold shade. So I am not gonna wear that to work or to school. I am just gonna wear it at home. The 2 times that I did use it, I didn't even leave the house. So that says a lot. I have been thinking about decluttering this palette, and this is kind of like the confirmation that I needed, that yes, I should declutter this palette because I really don't use it. Even if it's in a project, I don't want to reach for it, and I don't enjoy using green on my eyelids. And speaking of shadows I don't enjoy using on my eyelids, the next prompt was for a blue matte shadow. I pulled my Colourpop Cabana Club palette. In here there is a blue, dark blue matte. Down here it is called Pool Party. This one I enjoy a lot more than the green, but still I only used it twice. The blue and the green are probably gonna stay in here for like 2 or 3 more months, so just be prepared. And per usual, I forgot to swatch everything, so here is the color story. But let's jump into some eye looks that I did in the past month. So in the first look, I am using the shade Ebb as a liner, and I have this purple shade on my lower lash line. Everything else comes from my Panda palette. In the next look, I tried to use the blue just like a little wing on the outer corner, and then the green shade on top of it as like a separate layer of liner. It looks quite bad. Like, it didn't come out at all how I expected it to come out. It's probably just a skill issue But yeah, I didn't leave the house with this look because I was just too self-conscious of how like bad quality it looked. And then the last picture is also a wing with the shade called Ebb. And on the outer portion of my lower lash line, I have the blue shade. And on the inner portion of my lower lash line, I have the green shade. So these both had 2 uses, and these both 2 uses have been shown in these pictures as well. Nothing too intricate, just liner looks, because I mean, Ebb is a liner shade, and what's this called? Pool Party is a liner shade as well. And I really don't know how to use this green shade. These two were super simple, it's just lower lash lines all the time. Okay, so if you've been keeping up, then these 2 shades are gonna be rolling out, and that means that we can roll into new shades. So I have on my laptop the master prompt list by Laney. I am using the duplicate prompts removed list. It has 86 prompts in it, so I am gonna put into a random number generator from 1 to 86, and we get number 7. What is number 7? It is a topper shade. Okay, that is cool. The next number we get is 57, and 57 is a shadow that starts with the letter C. Okay, I'm gonna have to go rummaging if I even have any of those, and I will be right back. So I am back, and I am so excited for the shade, the topper shade. I decided to go for my Natasha Denona Xenon palette. In here there is a shade that I actually used today for the first time. Down here I have no idea how to pronounce that shade. Skift. Anyway, it is such a lovely topper shade. It has a bit of a base pigment to it, but it is so minimal, and the glitters are silver, so cool toned, and I am absolutely loving it on my eyes today. So here is the swatch of it. You can see that the base pigment is almost like non-existent, and the shimmers are just breathtakingly stunning. And the other shade for the prompt, a shadow that starts with the letter C, is down here as well. As you can see, it is quite a shimmery shade as well, but compared to the top one, this is definitely more of a satin, and it has more of a base pigment to it. That one comes from my Colourpop, that is Taupe palette. In here, the shade is called Cold Blooded. Here it is, an absolutely stunning shade. So 10 uses on these new shades shouldn't be hard at all. Probably not gonna get both of them out for the next update, but I'm definitely gonna have some good uses on both of them. So the old color story and the new color story. In an ideal world, I would keep these and probably Ebb, but just kick these 2 out. But I am so excited for the new shades, and I cannot wait to do my makeup tomorrow. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing as well. Thank you so much, and bye bye.